What's poppin', gang? We got some copyright drama this week. Alright, so there is a YouTuber who goes by TechLead, and he is a questionable individual to say the least. Had some sussy opinions, promoted a sussy crypto in the past, which was actually talked about by CoffeeZilla, and another person who goes by Internet Anarchist cataloged their whole feud. And that vid that Anarchist made actually got him a copyright strike. I wonder by who. Now, if you don't know what a copyright strike is on YouTube, I am honestly shocked, but I'll tell you, I'll run you through the deets. If you use somebody's content in the way that makes them feel like their copyright has been infringed, they can send you a copyright strike. And if you get 3 of those, your channel gets boosted. It's gone. So Anarchist gets this strike, and then he checks the email to see who it's from. It's by TechLead. Well, I didn't see that one coming. Now, copyright infringement is a real problem on YouTube, but TechLead actually, in his infinite wisdom, he decided to make a video talking about him trying to shoot that video down called The Scamtuber Industry, How Haters Make Money on YouTube. Now, TechLead, I don't know if you should be throwing around the accusation Scamtuber, considering your storied past, but hey, I'm not your PR guy. Now, it would be one thing if TechLead genuinely felt like his copyright was being infringed. Like, he still would not look good. He would look dumb, but he wouldn't look like a guy who unironically puts Reddit mod on his resume. And when the hiring agent says they have no idea what that is, he just laughs in their face. But he just had to upload this video. So when he elaborates on why he did this, he says, well, in order to fight the strike, he would have to turn over his personal information to me. And I want to use that to make sure I don't know this person in real life. Because a lot of these haters are people that I know, and I don't want them to be a physical threat to me.
One of the main reasons I will actually copyright strike a video, though, is I want to know who's behind the video, right? I want to know who these people are. What if it's somebody I even know in real life? Oftentimes, these haters are people who know you very well, actually. I mean, this could be a real physical threat to me.
Which I don't know about you, but I am pressing X to doubt on that statement. Like, I can't quite quantify it, but there is something about that sentence that just reads as complete nonsense to me. And even then, he says this as his defense and then immediately abandons that defense by then saying the following statements. He then tries to act like some sort of high criminal kingpin. He's like, these scamtubers exist because I allow them to. On sending these copyright strikes, it is simply a hazing ritual for me to show them I own the footage. I am the person in charge.
Really, these scamtubers exist only because I allow them to exist, and I can shut them down anytime I like because I own all of the copyrights to the images and audio that they're using. I will issue these copyright strikes on these new YouTuber scamtuber videos. And I don't really care one way or another, I guess, but it's more of a hazing ritual for me, like a welcoming ceremony, just to let them know what they're in store for. And who runs the show around here? Who owns the content around here?
TechLead, you do not look cool for saying that. You look sad. And then he's like, oh, I don't want to take him to court. I'll just let the video go back up eventually. It would be a waste of time to get all the lawyers involved. But I think he knows that there's a very real chance that if he were to get into a full legal scuffle with somebody in a situation like this, he would lose. Like, let's just say the evidence and the law is not exactly in his favor. I highly doubt he would win on any defamation thing. And the videos that Anarchist use, I feel like you would have a pretty good chance of a judge believing you saying I used them in fair use in my documentary. Now, not long after Anarchist posted a tweet about this, TechLead took down his video. Oh, what happened, TechLead? I thought you were the one in charge, but your video lasted about as long as Boogie's crypto promotion. Actually, y'all should probably talk to each other. You could cook up a fun little scam token. But then TechLead decides to do something even dumber. My man just keeps digging the hole like he's digging for diamonds in Minecraft, and he decides to send a DMCA takedown to another YouTuber. But then, just to make TechLead look like even more of a loser, even more of a complete failure, YouTube's like, we're not gonna take the video down, bro. We think it's in fair use. You know, this man used to work at Google. I feel like this dude is a prime example of just because somebody is smart in one thing doesn't mean they are exempt of being a complete dunce in something else. Oh yeah, little extra L, little cherry on top of the dumpster sundae. Penguin Zero, Moist Critical, made a couple videos on this guy, and he mentioned sometime after the first video he made was uploaded, and then he was streaming him playing Elden Ring, TechLead showed up in the chat and was like cheering the bosses to beat Charlie. He's like typing in the chat, get a mother finger. That's the name of the boss, by the way. Get a mother finger. Charlie ain't nothing to you. You know, this man makes me feel a whole lot better about myself. In the deepest, darkest pits of my despair, I have never once thought about going into the live stream chat of somebody that I don't like and typing in said chat, cheering for their defeat in a video game. Like, I don't think I've ever met a single human being in my life that would do that. Oh yeah, and somehow it gets even worse from here. Just to fill a sandblaster with salt and spray it at the wound. Nobody in Charlie's chat cared. Nobody paid him any mind. No attention to him was given. I'm giving him more attention now than Charlie's chat gave him. Tech Lead is catching L's better than I can catch a football. Alright, so that's one of the things that happened recently, but we don't have one copyright clown here, we have the entire circus. So there is a creator who's big on YouTube Shorts and a few other platforms called The Manny Show. And basically, think of your average post on TikTok that isn't someone being a complete maniac or dancing, and that's what Manny creates. Just miniature skits that are like 20 seconds long. Now, there is a YouTuber who goes by Coco Crazy, and she made a vid on him talking about apparently this man has just a giant community around him that just hates him, just hates his guts. Like, he steals people's audio without permission, he re-uploads the same videos just a few months apart, he like simps for Jeffrey Dahmer, you know, stuff like that. And so another guy who goes by Engwin decided to make a video about Manny, just taking a few shots at him, making fun of his comedy, and he got a strike for that, copyright strike. Now, I'm going to be charitable here, even though it's completely in vain, and say maybe the Manny Show genuinely did feel like his copyright was being infringed upon. August the Duck, that YouTube channel, he did some research and said, you know, since Engwin used the entire video, even though it was only like 20 seconds long, it was still the whole video, so if this were to go to court, Manny might have an advantage here. So yeah, thoughts and prayers for Engwin that this doesn't go to court, and I don't think it will. I highly doubt Manny's the type of guy that would want to shell out a bunch of money on some lawyer just for YouTube drama. And if we're playing by the rules that using the entire work for the video would be copyright infringement, Manny's not going to get off scot-free either, because there is another video right here called The Most Ghetto Things in Houses, and he basically uses someone else's TikTok showing her like jerry-rigged shower. It's the whole TikTok, and all he does is he puts his face at the end with his mouth agape. And like, at least Engwin was making jokes when he used the entire vid. Manny's just sitting there, mouth open. He looks like Link from GMM when he's asleep on the plane. Like, even if this were to go to court and Manny won, he would still lose, because his own channel would not hold up to the scrutiny that he held Engwin to. But I'm not done yet. Remember that lady that I told you about, Coco Crazy? The vid that she made on the Manny Show that I talked about, Manny tried to strike that one down too, except much like in the Tech Lead situation, YouTube went,
"Oh, what's that smell? It's bull."
And rejected that strike too. You know, Charlie said in one of his vids, doing this to a commentary YouTuber is probably one of the worst decisions, because they're gonna talk about it. It's literally, you're giving them free content. Like, not only are you breaking YouTube's rules, but you're giving people more material to clout on you with than they already had. But it gets even worse for Manny. He somehow comes out looking even worse than a normal person would when doing this, because striking Coco Crazy, at the time, she only had like 20k subs, or actually maybe like 27k, but she's also 16 years old. So now the big headline is Manny Show goes after high schooler. Man, the stars really aligned for Manny for him to look as bad as possible this week. And it's gotten to the point where even if you go into the comment sections, not even just on his YouTube Shorts, on like his Instagram account, on his TikTok account, he's getting eviscerated. Everybody's clowning on him for all this copyright stuff that he's doing. So he can't even go to another platform to escape people clowning on him. He's being haunted by his own bad decisions. And you know, I thought I was done. I thought this video was ready to go out, but nope. Some more wacky stuff happens involving a recurring person on the channel, Sniper Wolf. So there's a YouTube channel called One Giant Onion, and he made one of those videos that's like watching Sniper Wolf until I laugh, and the video was like 3 hours long. And of all the vids that we've talked about in this video, I feel like he would be the most in trouble if this went to court. Because yeah, he did get a strike on his channel, but what makes it funny is that we all thought this strike was from Sniper Wolf, and she is notorious for not really respecting copyright. She uses videos without people's permission and doesn't give credit. And people also rag on her for her vids not really being transformative. She just states what's happening on screen. At least that's what I've heard happen. I don't know, I haven't checked a Sniper Wolf vid in a while. But then Leah posts on her Twitter, "I didn't strike any channel down. Could it be an imposter?" Now, if you're unaware, this is actually a thing that has happened on YouTube in the past. The one that I remember is a Destiny YouTuber. Bungie struck their channel down because they kept uploading music to YouTube without their permission, so that YouTuber decided to impersonate Bungie and then just start striking other YouTubers' channels down out of anger. And when all the other YouTubers were freaking out, like, who is striking us? The YouTuber would go into their Discord servers and act like a victim as he's striking them. He was his own double agent. It was a wild situation. But back on track, Charlie, he's really been in the thick of it when it's come to this recent copyright stuff. He goes up to One Giant Onion. Okay, he doesn't go up to him. He like shoots him an email and he says, "Hey Onion, can you turn over these screenshots so I can look at them?" Which Onion does. Now, as of this moment, these screenshots are not public, so we're going to have to take Charlie's word for it. But according to him, these look very suspicious, and one of the biggest things about it is that, so supposedly, Onion's video was struck down by some dude working for an agency that represented Sniper Wolf, but the strike was filed from a personal Gmail account, not a corporate one, which is very atypical of an actual agency that works for YouTubers. Like, why would a person who works for an agency ever use their personal Gmail account to file a strike on behalf of the agency? That's just insanity. So this really got the noggin jogging, and so Charlie actually managed to reach out to Sniper Wolf herself to ask her, does this agency work for you or work with you? And she says not only do they not work with her, she's been targeted by this same group of people. So this story just got flipped on its head. What is going on right now? So that's about where we're at today. I'm going to make an update. I'll at least post something in the comments if we do get an update. I might even make a full video if this is juicy enough.